everybody.
Hello there.
Rebecca and Glennie here at the Chilton Public Library, and we are getting ready for March's Cook the Book. And this month we are showcasing Instant Pot recipes. And it is a great time. It's still a little cold outside, so maybe you want something that is quick and easy to cook while you have to shovel the end of your driveway. It also is really nice because we can showcase the Instant Pot that we have available for checkout in our library of things. So Glennie, what did you find interesting about the Instant Pot that you didn't know before?
Well, I had only used it once before, and I rather enjoyed this particular book because it reminded me quickly, like 2 to 3 text pages with lots of pictures on how they work, so I didn't have to spend too much time orienting myself. And I learned a lot. So this book was wonderful for the cookbook to refresh my memory on how the machine worked. And then today I'm making an Indian cabbage dish with this. That's quite yummy. And then we'll see if it's quite yummy. I hope it's quite yummy. And then this was the one last night that I started out to make a lentil salad. I love lentils. My husband loved lentils and a lentil salad. Now the recipe called for teeny tiny black beluga lentils. And I thought in all my wisdom, oh, they say it will take 20 minutes of pressure time. I'm using green French lentils. I'll do it longer. So I added 10 minutes to the pressure. It ended up delicious, but we had stew for supper because the lentils cooked and got this wonderful softness that they never do when I cook them on the stovetop because I'm generally impatient and don't wait that long. And it was delicious. It was this, they got soft, but they still held their shape. It wasn't mush. They were still lentils. And then I mixed in the chopped vegetables and onions and celery and carrots with a vinaigrette that just popped it. It was delicious. It was really, really good. So then I did it again thinking, okay, I'll follow directions. And even though they're bigger lentils, I'll just follow the directions, which is what I did the second time. And we'll show you a little later. That turned out beautifully. I made a beautiful lentil salad. So it took me 2 goes, but really because I messed it up. And the thing I'm learning that I just learned from Rebecca, yogurt. I want to try yogurt, and I also want to try something else. I'm going to keep trying.
I haven't tried the yogurt yet. I keep thinking about it, but I'm a little scared that I'm just going to mess it up so bad. The book that I chose was Dinner in an Instant by Melissa Clark. So I really enjoyed the Dinner in an Instant book. I liked how the layout was handled in this book. It has the contents broken down kind of by ingredient type. So we have like a yogurt, cheese, egg section, meat, seafood, vegetables, grains, desserts. So it really had a nice layout that would help a user move through this book and find what they were looking for. The recipes were easy to follow, and while not every recipe had a picture, the pictures that they do have are bright and colorful, so they were really quite helpful in regards to kind of seeing what you might end up getting on there. So for instance, like here is the coconut curry chicken, and you can see the nice full color spread. Another really nice feature of this book is that while a lot of these recipes are designed for like a pressure cooker or an Instant Pot, they also, a lot of them have a conversion to cook it in a slow cooker instead. So if you didn't have an Instant Pot or a pressure cooker, you could go ahead and you could still do these recipes in your slow cooker at home. So don't feel like that this book is only for that. So if there's a recipe that you would be really interested in, you could still use this book for those kind of dishes.
Hello there, and today I'm going to make for you something out of this Instant Pot miracle, and it's authorized by Instant Pot. So I thought, oh, I'll try with a cookbook that they believe in. And today I'm going to make the spicy Indian Savoy cabbage. They had me do different things. They had me taken they had me take herbs and spices, ginger, turmeric, garam masala, things in a blender or food processor made into a paste. I did that already. And they want me to melt olive oil in the Instant Pot because we're going to saute. And really, it's a simple recipe in the sense that the hard part is the prep, the shredding of the cabbage. If you have a mandolin or a food processor, it goes really fast. Otherwise, a sharp knife and knife skills can be rather fabulous as well. Let's see. I have to turn it on. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to saute, and there's all along here, there's all these options you can do. So I'm choosing the saute option. I'm choosing high, and I'm starting. Oh. And it's beeping at me, which means it's starting, I believe. So what we're going to do first is take a cinnamon stick, some cumin seeds, and some black mustard seeds, and we're going to put them in the bottom of the Instant Pot with the coconut oil. So this is I know that in Indian cooking, one of the secrets of Indian cooking is getting your oil fat and getting your spices bloomed in your oil. So that's what we're doing right now. So the seeds and spices are blooming in the coconut oil, and I'm just going to give them another little bit, and then once they sort of sizzle and pop, which should happen any second now, you can see them beginning to dance a little, we'll put our paste, our sort of yummy paste in here that we macerated. I did that previously. So that's the prep. The prep work for this, as I said before, is the hard part, but the whole thing takes not that long. I want to say prep time 20 minutes, close time for the pot time 5 minutes with the lid on, and the total time is 25 minutes from start to finish. So that's a pretty quick meal. And can you hear it? No. So here we're going to add this. You can hear that. That's good.
Now we will want to remember that in that prep time that they talk about is you do have to allow time for the Instant Pot, if you're going to cook under pressure, to come to pressure. So that could be between 10 and 20 minutes. So if you are cooking under pressure, you do need to kind of factor that time in. Lots of recipes don't. They'll say it takes only, 4 minutes to cook, but you still have to add that pressure time into that as well.
That's very true. So we're blending that, then we put in our onions. 2 cups of onions, 10 cups of cabbage. Impressive. And while that's heating up, I'll just stack over here. Stir it up. And then after we wilt the onions, the cabbage will go in with a little bit of vegetable broth, or broth of your choosing. It will begin to sort of stick on the bottom, and you'll think, oh no, it's getting crusty. But once you add the cabbage and that little bit of vegetable broth, it'll deglaze and get not crusty. So I'm going to add this. Will it fit? Spatial. Also, the spices can tickle your throat. Excuse me. As you stir and wilt. And then it calls for a little bit of this. Measuring here, like this. That looks good.
You want to make sure you have enough liquid, because otherwise it won't come to pressure.
Right, okay, so that's the key for the liquid. That's what's building pressure. And then there's also going to be liquid in the cabbage. So it says, I'm thinking I should stir it up. They also called, so there is a jalapeno pepper in that macerated thing that I did. It also calls for 1 whole jalapeno pepper to put in here just like that. I am foregoing that because there's already a whole one in the pot, And I thought, I think for the first time we'll just try it with one. And I want to say that I should be stirring it up, but I think it will wilt and we can stir it all up. It'll all marry together as I close this pot. And so we went ahead and we went ahead and selected pressure cook for 5 minutes on. It'll take a couple of minutes for it to build to that pressure. Then it'll be 5 minutes, and then you'll see the exciting part. We'll come back for that in just a few minutes. Now that we've released the we missed that part. But I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna look and I'm gonna stir. And I have to say that when I closed it up, the cabbage came all the way to the top. And now it's less than half, or maybe it's half. I'll take it out and we'll put it in the bowl and you can take a look at it. It looks good. It looks good. Depending on how crunchy you like your cabbage, I like crunchy vegetables. And here I'll take it out and you can take a look at it. There, so it has a nice pretty yellow color, that turmeric and curry powder. Oh, you're supposed to remove the cinnamon stick. I neglected to tell you about the cinnamon stick. And so we'll get the cinnamon sticks, which broke a little bit, so we'll get those out. So it was cinnamon, turmeric, curry powder, garlic, jalapeno that you put in a food processor with a little broth. And yeah, we got a lot of cabbage here. I hope everybody's hungry for cabbage. And I think it'll pair very nicely with the dish that Rebecca's going to make, which is a barbecue. So we'll have barbecue and Indian cabbage. There you go. There you have it. See if you can. Ta-da!
And today I'm going to be doing a smoky barbecue chicken on there. I love chicken. I think it's super versatile and it cooks up really well in the Instant Pot. Now, this recipe that I did, you're making your own barbecue sauce. Now, feel free, you don't have to make your own. You could skip this step in the recipe on there. So I have my chicken already salted, so it's going to be ready when the barbecue sauce is done. So we're going to take a half a cup of ketchup. Just going to get that in there. And the rest of it will come out when I use my apple cider vinegar. It calls for 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, so I have one already prepped of my half tablespoon, and here is my other. I'm not a super measurer when it comes to just straight up cooking like this, so you know, I would say cook to taste on there. 2 teaspoons of molasses. And I'm just going to grab this one here. Now the molasses and the ketchup and the vinegar are going to be what adds our liquid to this dish. And now I already have it. I have mine already starting to saute so that I can really get this going so it doesn't take as long. But I want to be careful so I don't burn it. So I'm going to bring it down a second. So I'm going to turn that off. Because you can see I'm starting to smoke a little bit. So it's cooking just a little faster than I wanted to. 2 tablespoons or teaspoons of Worcestershire. So we're just going to kind of throw that in there. Now this recipe calls for chipotle chili in there. I don't have any of that. And I am not going to give the Korean pronunciation for this, but this is a hot pepper paste that I figured would be a decent enough substitution. So I'm actually just going to grab like a nice chunk of it and just throw it in here. more.
We're good.
Right. So I'm going to add my apple cider vinegar that I added to my bowl, or to my ketchup container here. And I'm going to add my garlic clove. I use pre-minced just for Cook the Book. I like garlic, so I always add a little bit more to mine. And then we're going to add some paprika, some ground mustard, and some pepper to it. Now, because I preheated my saute, I actually turned it off. Oops, I did not open this mustard yet. I turned it off right now just so that I don't burn the rest of the sauce, because it was cooking a little bit faster than I was ready for it to. Just toss a little in there. And toss some pepper. And really what we're looking for is, we are just looking to heat this up just till it gets a little bit more paste-like. So we're going to go ahead. Now the recipe says to cook this sauce for about 3 to 5 minutes. As I said, I preheated, so I can tell that I'm already starting to get that paste thickness of it, because it was already cooking while I was adding my ingredients to it. Now that we have it at the paste consistency that we want, all we have to do is add the chicken. So reach over here. I'm just going to add my boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And we're just going to give that a nice stir so that these chicken thighs really get coated. And now we are just going to put this under pressure. This recipe calls it for it to be cooked on high pressure for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to put my cover on. And you're listening for those wonderful beeps. And then we're going to close it. I'm going to make sure that my vent is sealed right now so that it continues to build the pressure. I'm going to come here and I'm going to hit my pressure, and I'm going to set my time to, oops, I just have to see it, here we go, down to 15 minutes. Now with my pressure cooker, I just have to set the time and tell it at what, either at low or high pressure. It will start to build pressure. So right now it's just going to take a second to set. It is going to start to build pressure. When it hits its pressure, then it's going to start the countdown from the 15 minutes. So this will probably take between 10 to 20 minutes to build to pressure, and then I'll have a 15-minute cook time on this. Now, this particular dish asks for me to let the pressure release manually. So I don't need to, or naturally, I'm sorry. So it will probably almost take another 10 minutes at least for it to drop pressure for me to open up my valve, just to make sure that there's no more pressure in there. So we aren't going to get that nice steam swoosh that you might get if you're going to manually release the pressure on there. And then when this dish is done, we'll come back and we'll take a look and see what it looks like. All right, so we are back. For some reason, my Instant Pot did not build the pressure. And I think it's because when I got the burn warning, my ring didn't seal properly when we re-put it back on here. So the whole time while it was cooking and waiting to build the pressure, all the steam was leaving the Instant Pot. But it was still heating up inside. So I still got cooked chicken on here. So instead, this will be more like how it would be if you cooked it on the stovetop, in a pan on there. I have
It looks delicious.
a very thick barbecue sauce that did not burn, thankfully. My chicken is very tender. I can just rip it open with just this plastic spoon on there. So while on a pressure cooker side, this dish did not turn out. I very well feel like it turned out still. I still came with a finished product that cooked down in about 20 minutes still. So I am excited to still give it a try. Not every dish we make is a win. It looks like I got a partial win on this one. So, the Instant Pot is a multi-functional device. So even though, as I said, I didn't get to pressure, I did at least still get to cook my item.
I'm going to show the fruits of all of our labors. We have
I'm going to have you step over here a little bit.
Sure.
Here, I'm going to unplug you here. There you go.
We have did we just unplug
the ring light?
Yes.
That's okay. Sorry,
So
guys.
we have this delicious chicken with Indian cabbage, and we also have the lentil salad from last night that turned out beautifully as well. So I think we're having the fixings for a feast here.
I know.
So as we can see, both of our dishes didn't really quite turn out how we had really kind of hoped that they would, but they both cooked, so that is a plus on there. I would still encourage, I've used the Instant Pot at home a ton of times, so it could just be this recipe. We could just be having an off day, which is entirely possible. The fact that both of us had some issues with just getting it to cook, it does seem awfully coincidental. We are running a contest. I have an extra copy of Dinner in an Instant that we are going to be giving away. We are going to do a random drawing of everybody who either comments on this video, either in below on our Facebook page or on our YouTube page. You will also get an extra drawing if you check out a Instant Pot cookbook or check out the Instant Pot from the library. And we are going to announce the winner at our next Cook the Book video. So thanks, Glennie.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
It was a learning curve.
We have lunch now.
We do. We'll probably maybe run another Instant Pot video after we hammer out some of the problems that we ran into, and maybe we can talk about why we think we ran into the problems that we did.
Yeah, thanks
All
for
right.
joining us.
Our April video is going to be featuring our air fryer. So we're going to feature air fryer recipes as well as the air fryer that you can check out from the library. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the library either by phone or email, or leaving us a message, and we will help you through whatever we can. Thanks, everyone.
See you
Have a
next
great
time.
day.
Bye.
Bye.